Alright gamers, this is a cool video because I found something while browsing on 4chan. And so I was watching this Lendug video, as you do, you know? And he was talking about how LibreWolf is too political or something, so people are like, oh, what's the good browser? What do I use? And a lot of people will bring up Brave. And I have used Brave, but they had a memory leak for a while, so I wasn't using them for a bit. I was using Firefox. But it looks like they fixed the memory leak, which is cool. But the problem with Brave is you mention it to somebody and people have kind of a distaste for crypto. Now, I do too, but the other thing about crypto is it can be used for useful purposes. For example, like Monero, which is a very anonymous form of Bitcoin or like a cryptocurrency, whatever. And Brave is a very privacy and security focused browser, but it does have it's like reasonable privacy, you know what I mean, where it still has some amount of telemetry. It's not like makes zero unsolicited requests kind of private, but they also use cryptocurrency in order to stave off like corporate sponsorships, where especially because of the way the CEO is, you know, he got kicked out of Mozilla for a reason, but he obviously maybe, you know, corporate sponsorships might not be the way to go, so you go with crypto, and that way they can remain financially independent of Google while still using their engine. So while companies like Mozilla, Vivaldi, and Apple actually are going to lose a shitload of revenue due to the Google antitrust suit, that should be decided by like August or something. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to actually go through with it. But these companies are going to have financial issues, and Brave will not. So I'm like, okay, well, if your crypto stuff is opt in, I don't have to worry about it. And I could just ignore it and pretend it's not there. And that's cool, right? You know, sorry if my screen's really small, but basically, people will criticize it though. They'll say, oh, well, I don't want crypto in my browser. I don't want any trace of it anywhere at all in the browser. And that's what this tool does. It's called Brave or Fast Brave debloat script, and it's only for Mac OS and Linux. So if you're on Windows, you know, get bug switch to Linux. But what happens though is it's got like all these different options, and I'll zoom in a bit if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in even further. All right, so this is the Brave debloat script, and for me, I just hit one, and that applied these default settings. And what it does is it creates a new application launcher, you know, .desktop, called Brave debloater or whatever. And when you open it, it opens up Brave, but it's like it has all these debloat things uh, pre-applied. So what's cool about that though is if you're one of those people that really just doesn't want any crypto whatsoever in your browser, you know, you can get rid of it. Basically, you can get rid of all the ads, you can get rid of all the sponsorships, you can get rid of everything pretty much. And that's cool. You know, I like that. I don't I didn't personally care about it too much, but I did use Brave Sync, and Brave Sync I don't think is gonna work for me on this because I decided to allow it to get rid of background processes, but I don't really necessarily need it, you know, as long as my passwords are saved or whatever. I can just like log into what I'm supposed to be logged into. But having a password manager is nice because I don't always remember all my all my passwords, and theirs is very privacy focused. But I think you can just re-enable it or something. I don't know. But it does enable hardware acceleration. It improves a bit of rendering using the GPU, which is cool. And you know, the only thing though is it does have memory saver, which I didn't like on Zen browser because I kept noticing that my YouTube videos would restart if I left them paused in another tab for too long, but I can always open them up in a different window or something. So if you are one of those people that's looking for a good browser but Brave is kind of distasteful to you, you might have to like get over that the CEO is whatever he is, you know? You might just have to deal with it, you know? But if you're the kind of person that's hesitant to use something like a Firefox fork because of people's politics, Brave is probably up your alley. You know. And but if you're like hesitant to use it because you don't like bloat, you want a very minimal browser, you can do that with the Brave debloat script, so that's cool. And it hopefully will make it more palatable for people to, to use, because a lot of people are like, oh, I would use Brave, but it's just too bloated, or I don't like whatever aspect of it. I want something like super private, super secure, and this is what helps with that. But I would normally I'd be like, why don't you just fork Brave because it's open source, and then you can just package it and all that. But that's a lot of overhead, that's a lot of maintenance. And having a script that does it is very low overhead, low maintenance, and it's very hackable. So that's cool for later. That'll probably improve how easy it is to do things. So if you were looking to use Brave but you didn't want to because it's not like as debloated as LibreWolf or whatever, but now you watch this Lunduk video and you're trying to find a good browser, here's how you do it. You use Brave. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.